Howdy neighbor, Rob here, the Golden Rule of Real Estate, and here with this week's edition of Golden Rules, the Spring Lawn Transition Checklist. So if this is your first time coming by, welcome. Please click that subscribe button down below. It absolutely helps the channel, and leave me your comments. I'd love to hear your feedback on this episode or ideas for future episodes. So whatever it is you have to say, I'd love to hear about it because I'm always trying to learn just like you. So let's get down to it. So we talked last week about spring home maintenance tips for your home. Now it's time to talk about spring home maintenance tips for your yard. When it comes to your lawn, transitioning from winter to spring can really be a process, but it doesn't have to be one that stresses you out. With just a few must-do items on your checklist, you can prepare your lawn and garden the right way in order for things to flourish when spring rolls around officially. Here are a few easy steps for early spring to get ready for the sunny season. First, test your sprinkler system. If you didn't examine it when handling your spring home maintenance checklist, make sure to do it when preparing your yard for the season. Cycle through your entire system and walk your entire yard as it cycles through each zone. Check for any broken sprinkler heads, adjust any heads that are spraying doors and windows, and reorient heads that are spraying too much on sidewalks and driveways. Checking in March should still give you plenty of time to fix any issues before the summer sun hits. Next, you'll want to clean up the yard. Before warm weather hits, you will want to give your yard a good cleanup. Winter can bring a lot of debris, whether it's from rainstorms, wind, or just winter weather. This means that you'll want to tackle any fallen branches, dead leaves, and dead grass. If you have an aggressive spreading grass like Bermuda or St. Augustine, and most yards in Houston do, you might want to dethatch your yard. Thatch is dead plant material like grass clippings, pine needles, and the like. If the thatch is under a ½ inch thick, then it can actually be good for your yard. But if it builds up, it could smother your yard and keep it from growing in a healthy way. Dethatching likely is the most time-consuming part of the spring make-ready process, simply because you'll want to do the best you can to open up your yard to sunlight and water. Now, once you're done with yard cleanup, you'll want to move on to aeration. Dethatching and aeration are two different tasks, but they often go hand in hand. Grass roots need air, water, and nutrients to grow thick, deep, and strong. When soil becomes compacted, even slightly, it inhibits the flow of the essentials that support thicker, healthier turf growth. Aeration creates holes down into the soil to alleviate compaction so air, water, and nutrients can reach grass roots. Now, you can hire a lawn service to aerate for you, or you can do it yourself. Equipment rental companies and lawn and garden stores often rent aerator machines and provide basic operating instructions for the model you choose. Aerating is a lot like mowing as you work back and forth across your yard. Because we have warm weather grasses here in Houston, the best time for aerating is late spring or very early summer. Never aerate dormant lawns. Now that you've done the prep work on your ground, you're ready to pull out the lawnmower, right? Not quite yet. Now's the time to sharpen your blades. At least once per year, you're going to want to sharpen your lawnmower blades. So what better time than right at the beginning of mowing season? Dull blades can do real damage to your yard, tearing up the grass and even leading to potential lawn diseases. Make sure that you sharpen your blades properly in order to keep things clean. You can take your blades to a lawnmower repair shop or Ace Hardware and get them sharpened. Or, if you're handy, you can do it yourself. Now, while you're handling all this, you can also think about whether or not to use a pre-emergent. Lawn weeds germinate in the spring, similar to most plants. Before you allow them to take hold, you'll want to treat your lawn with a pre-emergent. Pre-emergent helps control the weeds from settling into your yard. Incorporating this into your lawn care routine can help prevent lawn weeds from returning year after year. Now, spring is also a great time to determine whether or not you need to overseed. Overseeding helps lawns grow green and healthy by filling in bare patches and helping existing grass grow strong. Overseeding is an essential component of maintaining a lush lawn all season long. Overseeding grass can help existing lawns become more robust by increasing the thickness of roots and turf, making it harder for weeds to take over. Thin spots in a yard can also be treated by overseeding to regain growth and maintain an even, healthy look in any lawn. Now, the other thing to be thinking about this time of the year is to fertilize. There's a right time to fertilize, and for most lawns, it's right before spring hits. Most lawns need to be fed a couple of times per year. Now, the best time to apply is usually right after the last frost, which usually happens in mid to late February. You'll want to use a slow release fertilizer to allow nutrients to be available to your yard for up to 2 months. Now, most of the big brands that you'll find in the big box stores are designed to cover a wide range of grasses, but NitroPhos is a Houston-based company that sells fertilizer specifically designed for the Houston area. You can find their products usually in garden centers, nurseries, and hardware shops like Ace and True Value. Now, while you're applying fertilizer to your yard, this is also the time to apply your tree and shrub fertilizer as well. Attractive trees and shrubs are important components in all well-landscaped properties. An adequate fertilization program is an important requirement of any good woody plant maintenance program. Occasionally, additional fertilizer is needed in areas where a tree's root growth is restricted by streets, curbs, or other structural features. A good rule of thumb is to look at the canopy of your tree. If the canopy is reaching out over your house, well, the root structure is also going in that area as well. So make sure you always trim the tree branches that are overhanging your home, and that'll restrict that root structure to away from the house. Now, shrubs and vines frequently serve as screens or borders for lawn areas within the landscape. As a result, these plants are frequently forgotten or neglected in the normal lawn fertilization program. In general, the best time to apply fertilizer is in the late winter before spring growth begins. Now that you've got all the fertilization out of the way, it's now time to mulch your flower beds. Mulch helps keep soil and roots cool, which is especially important for young plants struggling to become established in hot weather. Part of the way it does this is by retaining soil moisture. Mulch can also prevent weeds both by denying the sunlight that triggers germination of seeds and by acting as a physical barrier between seeds and the soil. And it fertilizes the soil in the case of organic mulches like compost, manure, grass clippings, and aged wood chips. Mulch also encourages earthworms, which come to the soil surface in the evening to feed on decomposing organic matter. You should strive to keep 1 to 4 inches of mulch on your flower beds. More than 4 inches of mulch can cause problems like fungal diseases. And always try to leave at least a couple of inches between the top of your mulch to the weep holes in your brick, or you might encourage wood-destroying insects to enter your home. Now, finally, you're going to need to decide whether or not to apply insecticide. Spring definitely brings with it the emergence of certain pests, the two most prominent being fire ants and mosquitoes. Spreading an insecticide early in the growing season can help make sure that your family doesn't get chased from your lawn by these pests. So make sure that you always follow the golden rule of pesticide applications. Always read the instructions on how to apply it. Now, whether it's organic or synthetic, use gloves and cover other exposed parts of your body when applying an insecticide. You might also need a mask or respirator depending on the types of chemicals that you use. So that's it for this early spring lawn checklist. I hope that these are some actionable items that you can tackle this year. Share with me your thoughts in the comment section. Or if you're looking for more professional help with your lawn, reach out to me at the information below, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with a referral to an excellent lawn care team for whatever your needs may be. Just whatever you do, make sure that you enjoy the results of putting some effort or some money into maintaining your yard. Have a great week and enjoy the spring.